Route 611, Philadelphia, Broad Street. Joseph R. Biden was talking at the G7 conference. So here's my question as dummy voter number 4, having fun. Let's hear what he sounds like.
As well as what kind of people we're going to increase.
Here's my question. Biden speaks to reporters at end of G Summit in Japan.
740 billionaires.
740.
About 1,000 billionaires in there who are paying an average tax rate of 8%.
8%.
Raise your hand if you want to pay 8% only. I think you'd all be permitted to do that. So my point is that there's a lot of things that they refuse to.
He's speaking to reporters, not other leaders.
Revenue is off the table.
Revenue's off the
Revenue's
table.
not off the table. And
he's
so
not talking to the leaders themselves, but they're the reporters at the G7 summit in Japan, which is in Hiroshima for something. Here's a reporter question.
I know they won't. Matter of fact, the fact that we were able to cut government spending by $1.7 trillion, that didn't cause a recession, that caused growth. Look, we have
so it's 7:12, which would be equivalent of maybe 11 minutes, probably 20 minutes, just grind them.
Jobs, including 800,000 manufacturing jobs. We're moving in a direction where we're rebuilding and reconstructing America through the Infrastructure Act. Well, here's the other thing. I'm not sure. My guess is I'll get a question about, well, wait a minute,
What would be my question? My question would be, let me think about
that's
that.
Right.
Who's the greatest guitarist ever made? What's his favorite guitarist ever? His Bible.
I'll give you one example.
He knows the Bible upside down and backwards, guaranteed.
Yes, this one. Well, I decided that we were going to be in a position where we were not going to continue to pay the highest drug prices in the world.
Here's my question. What is his favorite character in the Bible? You know what he's going to say?
Selling it in Tokyo, or selling it in Berlin, or selling it around the world. They pay a lot less than we pay at home. So we said a simple proposition.
If he's a boy,
let's take a look at how much it costs.
Jaboos Jabash, just another brother or sister, just another brother and sister, and I'm a boy. So if I'm Mike, I'm BM, he would be Jack. Because his name is Joseph.
Well, they were paying somewhere between $400 and $700
so
a month.
Anybody named B would say bah humbug.
Guess what? It costs $10 to get in. $10 to make.
So how do you speak in Japan? They're translating, right?
Well,
here's how Mike translates.
Now they can charge more from Medicare.
Medicare. The donut hole he's talking about. He tried to close it. Now they're going back to the Better Business Bureau, which, don't forget, there was a pandemic caused in the country, right near there. How many lives did they lose? Plus, Fukushima, remember the Fukushima plant?
$160 billion less will be paid out by the American taxpayer to help the elderly.
Who's the strongest nation in the world? He's at the G7 summit. He's doing well. I mean, on overall ratings, is grinding. What's the next question?
Next year,
tuition
for the drug costs, no senior will have to pay total cost. Total cost of all the drugs,
so now,
expensive cancer drugs,
people know for a fact
will not have to pay more than $3,500.
The world has turned over in 2 years. Literally turned over. The poles were supposedly changing of the Earth magnetic field. You know what I mean? That's Joseph Biden, right? The Earth, physically changed. The animals changed. They're barking too loud. There's too many noises. Global climate has hit a total peak. Pandemic is still. Remember Good Morning America, Dr. Jennifer Aniston? Don't forget, there's still a pandemic and a flu, according to ABC News, right? Jennifer Aniston, the girl, is watching this, right? Medicaid. Who's the optometrist right now?
How about?
How's his optics?
Lucero, NHK.
Hi, good evening, Mr. President. The Chinese military is more active at this time in the Taiwan Strait with expectations this might increase leading up to Taiwan's presidential election next January. Despite some diplomatic communication recently between the U.S. and China, the military hotline is not working. Under these circumstances, how will you manage the diplomatic relationship with China? And how will you strengthen the U.S. alliance with
Very
Japan
easily.
and ROK
Liaison.
to counter China?
Liaison.
Well, number one, you're right. We should have an open hotline. At the Bali conference, that's what President Xi and I agreed we were doing, And then this silly balloon that was carrying 2 freight cars worth of spine equipment was flying over the United States. And it got shot down, and everything changed. In terms of talking about them.
They flew a fly.
Very shortly.
Well, Goodyear must be saying, oh, jeez, I got a rubber
I think it's fair to say for those of you who have dealt with the Japanese government.
That's the Biden version. Listen to this, you're going to love
The
this.
situation in terms of our relations with Japan have never.
This is
ever
insane.
Never.
Forgive me if I laugh as Mike the Fool without, remote control.
When I came to see President Kennedy.
Your hour-by-hour forecast and heading into the afternoon. Bright sunny day for the entire area. Temperatures by noon should be a little bit closer to 70 degrees. And once we get into the afternoon, that's when we're going to reach our high temperature of 78 across Philadelphia. We have 77 and 78 for the Pennsylvania suburbs. Here's a look at the forecast for the sunset at 8:14. That's when we expect to have a beautiful sunset. No clouds to practically impede our view for that. Tonight, clear skies. Our temperatures will be falling into the low 50s. It's going to be a bit chilly once we get our Monday morning started, but by the afternoon, we will have mid and upper 70s across most of our area, possibly getting close to 80 degrees in a few spots, and heading into Tuesday, still a nice, beautiful, bright, sunny day. A few more clouds in a couple of spots, but high pressure will keep our weather pattern quiet for the next few afternoons, so no big signs, no big opportunities for rain here in our 10-day. Temperatures most likely close to 80 degrees for Wednesday. All right, thanks, Marvin. Well, have you reached the tipping point when it comes to businesses trying to get more money out of you? Give it a look. The price is already inflated. Shoppers are being hounded for tips more often and at unusual spots. We'll break down this tipflation trend next. And a movement to build a new political party in America held us.
So I don't think there's anything inevitable about the notion that it's going to bring this conflict between the United States and the West and or Japan and Korea and the Quad. And take a look at what's happening. We are more secure. We all talk about China's building its military. It was building its military. And that's why I've made it clear that I'm not prepared to trade certain items with China. And when I was asked by President Xi why, I said because you're using nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction, and I'm not going to do it. We've now got commitment from all of our allies. They're not going to need to provide that kind of material that allows you to do that. But that's not a hostile act. That's an act that says we're going to make sure we do everything we can to maintain the status quo. And what's going on now is, look at the meeting we had here today in Michigan, the Quad. I bet you, maybe some of you thought it, but I doubt that many people in this audience or any other audience would have said that 2 years after the election, I believe it's England, Australia, Japan, and the United States to form an organization called the Quad to maintain stability in the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea. Well, when asked by the Prime Minister, by President Xi why we're doing that, it's simple. We have an international organization that agreed upon what constitutes open airspace and sea space. And we're not going to allow that to be unilaterally ordered. Period. We're not changing any rules, we're just making sure that the democracies and the conviction that the Pacific Basin remains what it was before, open and clear. So I guess what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is I think we're more united than we've ever been in the Pacific in terms of maintaining stability and maintaining a sense of security. So I'm not sure that answers your question, but I hope it does. If it doesn't, you want to follow up with that question? Well, how about, if you don't want to follow, how about Maria Bloomberg?
Mr. President, you just said I'm willing to cut spending. Speaker McCarthy says that U.S. government needs to spend less next year than they did this year. So will you agree to that? And on China, your team has been trying to secure meetings with their Chinese counterparts. Would you consider easing some sanctions to improve relations, like the sanctions that are currently on China's defense minister? Thank you.
Yes or no? No, I'm not going to do the sanctions, but yes, I think we should, the final question is,
Spirits are using me, largest voices calling. What am I looking for? I'm looking for one girl for me, but there's too many afraid of me. I have been. What am I looking for? A girl I've been looking for years for her, and I still can't get one. And now you're stuck in a healthcare system that you can't get rid of. Now the nurses don't want me anymore. You know, they're screaming my name out that window, right? All these kids, they're going to negotiate, right? All these girls who, they want to meet a boy like me, but they can't because there's Joseph Hart Biden getting in the way. You're running for the president of what? That's NBC TV. This is a white and black left call, right? That's a baseline. Who's the voice? What was the question again? Morality. Who's AI? They created Samsung. They got cars. Who's Tesla? Tesla's in the crowd, right? All these electronic engineers. Drexel University, silver chain. He gave the commencement speech against, right? He coughed. You know, he's one cough away from Kamala Harris on the podium. They go down.
What happened is that things are going to change.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for a girl. Can never find her, right? I got thousands of likes on my Facebook page. Thousands. How many click-throughs? What am I looking for? Now you're going into a retirement home saying, oh my gosh, the girls outnumber the boys 3-1. That's the truth in the United States. You can't deny it. I've been there. Go in the nursing homes right now. Southern Cross. All these girls, 40, they're really nervous, right? Now all the girls in their 20s saying, geez, man, there's an abortion pill. We don't care. Just go have sex. Who's at the border crisis right now? Title 42. That means 4 plus 2 equals 84, right?
And it makes no distinctions other than what the percentage number of predators. But some of it makes absolutely no sense at all. And so what we've done is we're going to have to sit down.
Here's the president again.
Speaker McCarthy is just waiting to negotiate.
He doesn't have a wedding ring on.
I don't know whether that's true or not. We'll find out. But at first we weren't making progress, then we made a lot of progress, and then all of a sudden we came back with a proposal that was very...
All the virgins under 40. Jeez, man. What's a binary again? A binary is a trans, or a trans is a binary. You're not watching the Space Channel. What's a gargoyle? You know how they are in Greece, right? There's an election of Greece with the gladiator. Santa, remember? The two redheads this morning in Greece. The two 50-year-olds saying they're electing the president of Greece today. The Pope isn't on television. Here's the next question. Who cares?